It's Cookie Week, haven't you heard? We just published 7 new cookie recipes with videos on New York Times Cooking, and there are many more from years past on our YouTube channel, in case you want to revisit Eric Kim's frosted sugar cookies or Vaughn Vreeland's eggnog snickerdoodles. Time equals 400 ms, greater than. It's also the moment for potato latkes and the other delicacies of Hanukkah. I personally feel that latkes can make an excellent dinner themselves if they're properly adorned. I top mine with a schmear of sour cream and a piece of smoked salmon, though no one would be mad about a little caviar or a poached egg. If you're looking for a meatier main course, Melissa Clark's paprika chicken below would do nicely. This deeply savory, weeknight-friendly sheet pan chicken is worth buying a new jar of sweet paprika for, especially if you can't remember when you got the one in your spice drawer, for those 4th of July deviled eggs several summers ago. The fresher the spices, the more intensely flavorful the dish. This one is as pretty as it is complex, with a mix of colorful cherry tomatoes and peppers that soften and absorb all the chicken juices as they roast. Serve it with something to catch the saucy tomatoes. Crusty bread, polenta or couscous all work well. Point 1. Heat oven to 425 degrees. Season chicken all over with salt, and place it on a rimmed baking sheet. Point 2. In a small bowl, stir together olive oil, vinegar, garlic, paprika, espelette and oregano. Pour over chicken, tossing to coat. Point 3. Add tomatoes, poblano and sweet peppers to baking sheet. Spread vegetables around the chicken. Season vegetables lightly with salt and drizzle with a little more olive oil. Sprinkle parmesan all over chicken and vegetables. Point 4. Roast until chicken is golden, crisp and cooked through 25 to 35 minutes. Stir the vegetables halfway through cooking but don't disturb the chicken. If white meat is done before dark meat, remove it as it finishes cooking. Time equals 400 ms, greater than 5. Transfer chicken to plates. Stir vegetables around in pan, scraping up all the delicious browned bits from the bottom and sides of pan, and stir in the parsley and black pepper to taste. Taste and add salt if needed, and a drizzle of vinegar if you like. Spoon vegetables over the chicken to serve. Fragrant dill rice is a natural accompaniment to salmon, and a complete meal of the two is made easy here by baking them together in one dish. Add fresh or dried dill to basmati rice, which is eventually topped with salmon covered in a tangy, sweet and spicy paste of mayo, lemon zest, honey and dried chili flakes. To ensure the rice is perfectly fluffy without overcooking the fish, the grains are baked until most of the water is absorbed before the salmon is added over the top. Point 1. Place an oven rack in the center position and heat the oven to 400 degrees. In a kettle or a small saucepan, bring 2 3/4 cups water to a boil. Point 2. To a 9 by 13 inch baking pan, add the olive oil and spread it around the pan. Add the rice, 1 teaspoon salt and the dill, and stir to combine. Spread the rice evenly across the pan. Add the boiling water, stir and cover tightly with foil. Place in the oven and bake until most of the water has been absorbed, 12 to 15 minutes. Point 3. Meanwhile, in a small bowl, combine the garlic, lemon zest, mayonnaise, honey, turmeric and red pepper flakes. Season both sides of the salmon fillets well with salt, about 1½ teaspoons total, and pepper. Spread the mayonnaise paste on top, or flesh side, of the salmon fillets. Point 4. Remove the pan from the oven and very carefully lift the foil. Place the salmon fillets on top of the rice, paste side up, reseal and place back in the oven. Bake until the rice is fluffy and the salmon is tender, 15 to 20 minutes. Garnish with more fresh dill and red pepper flakes. This weeknight meal is silky, slurpable and so quick to pull off. It follows the tradition of wafu or Japanese-style pasta, and combines brown butter, udon and spinach, but the classic combination of savory sauce, chewy noodle and green vegetable allows plenty of room for improvisation. Instead of soy sauce, you can add umami with parmesan, miso, seaweed or mushrooms. Instead of black pepper for heat, grab ginger or chili flakes, oil or paste. For more protein, boil eggs or shelled edamame in the water before the udon, or add tinned mackerel or fresh yuba along with the sesame seeds. Udon noodles, found fresh, frozen or shelf-stable, are singularly bouncy and thick. If you can't find them, use the thinner, dried style that resembles linguine. Point 1. Bring a large pot of salted water to a boil. Add the noodles and cook according to package directions until just tender. Reserve 1 cup cooking water, Then add the spinach and press to submerge. It will continue cooking later. Drain the noodles and spinach, shaking to get rid of any excess water. Point 2. Set the pot over medium heat. Add 5 tablespoons butter and cook, stirring occasionally, until the foam subsides. The milk solids turn golden brown and it smells nutty and toasty. 3 to 4 minutes. Add the black pepper and stir until fragrant. Add 1/4 cup pasta water, plus the noodles and spinach, soy sauce and sugar, and toss until the sauce is thickened and silky. Add pasta water, 1 tablespoon at a time, until the sauce clings to the noodles. Point 3. Remove from heat. Add the sesame seeds and stir in the remaining 1 tablespoon butter until melted. Season to taste with more soy sauce and black pepper, if mild, and sugar, if too salty. Serve with more sesame seeds on top. This is comfort food, Indian style, adapted from a recipe by Madhur Jaffrey. It's also vegan, and perfect for a fall evening. Use a mixture of cultivated mushrooms, they come in all shapes and sizes. Look for royal trumpets, a large, meaty type of oyster mushroom, shiitakes, and small portobellos. Use some wild mushrooms too, if you can, like golden chanterelles, lobster or hen of the woods. You can make this as spicy as you wish, but be sure to include some cayenne and green chili, to complement and play off the creamy coconut milk sauce. Serve with basmati rice, rice noodles or mashed potatoes. Time equals 400 ms, greater than 1. In a wide skillet, heat oil over medium-high. When hot, add squash cubes in 1 layer. Season with salt and pepper. Cook for about 2 minutes, letting cubes brown slightly, then flip and cook for 2 minutes more. Use a slotted spoon to lift squash out, and set aside. Point 2. Cut a lengthwise slit in each chili to open it, but leave whole. This helps the chilies heat the sauce without making it too spicy. 3. Add shallots, salt lightly and cook, stirring, 1 minute. Add mustard seeds, cumin seeds and curry leaves, if using, and let sizzle for 30 seconds. Then add garlic, coriander, cayenne, turmeric and chilies. Stir well and cook for 30 seconds more. Time equals 400 ms, greater than 4. Add mushrooms, season with salt and toss to coat. Cook, stirring, until mushrooms begin to soften, about 5 minutes. Point 5. Return squash cubes to skillet, stir in coconut milk and bring to a simmer. Lower heat to medium and simmer for another 5 minutes. If mixture looks dry, thin with a little water. Taste and season with salt. Point 6. Before serving, stir in lime juice. Transfer to a warm serving dish and garnish with cilantro. A complex and colorful chickpea stew. This is rich with vegetables, olive oil and Parmesan cheese. You can vary the vegetables to use what you've got. Here, I keep to the basics, adding carrots for sweetness, fennel or celery for depth, cherry tomatoes for looks. Tender greens, wilted into the bubbling mixture at the end, are optional, but they do add a bright, almost herbal note. I particularly love using baby mustard greens, which are pleasantly peppery. But spinach, arugula and kale work well. 2.1. In a large pot, heat the olive oil over medium-high. Add the carrots, fennel or celery, and onion. Cook until tender, about 5 to 7 minutes. Add the garlic, red pepper flakes and rosemary, if using, and cook for another 2 minutes. Pour in the broth, if using, or water, along with another 2 cups water, and bring to a boil. Point 2. Once the mixture is boiling, add the chickpeas, tomatoes and orzo. Reduce to a simmer and cover with a lid. Simmer 10 minutes, or until the orzo is tender. Uncover and stir in the greens, letting them simmer until soft, about 2 minutes. Point 3. Add more water if you want the mixture to be more soup-like, and season with salt and pepper. Ladle into bowls and top with chopped scallions, if desired, grated cheese and a drizzle of olive oil. This article originally appeared in the New York Times.